Okay, so whenever anybody's ready, we can start.
Don't mind starting. That's okay.
Sure.
Um, okay, so my name's Kristen White. My business is Chicken Librarian, and I didn't actually go through and fill out the questions, so I'll just try to like kind of give a little overview and then talk about as many of these points as I can. So I started my business a couple of years ago, and I teach homesteading skills. So it can be anything from how to set up your homestead to how to make a pie, how to raise chickens, anything and everything. And it started out with making some products. I guess there would be considered my value-added products. And then I started with then it kind of rolled into some classes. So it was kind of a twofold business. And then it took me a while to kind of figure out what exactly I wanted to be doing. And then COVID hit and all my classes kind of, obviously they're in person, and I travel around to do those. So that kind of stopped. And so I panicked a little bit and just kind of started doing some free stuff online and on Facebook Live. And then I started selling at markets. And I just realized that the products weren't necessarily where I wanted to focus. So I stopped selling at markets just because I felt like it was a lot of work and it was taking the focus off of the classes. So I finally, Marianne has been dealing with me for a couple of years now with classes and or coming to take classes, and I don't know what I'm doing. So anyway, I finally found my focus. I love teaching. I love sharing. I feel like that what my product is different in terms of, I think most people sell, you have a product to sell. I want to teach people how to do things themselves. So I feel like that's what makes me stand out a little bit more than, somebody else who I talk a lot too, which is good for classes, not so good whenever you have a time limit. Okay, so I feel like right now with COVID especially, a lot of people are moving to our areas and they want to know how to do this stuff. So I think my biggest challenge right now is figuring out how to reach those people and provide those classes to them. I would like to go in and do like private classes in home. So let's use your stuff at your location, and let's, that way you will be comfortable doing these things versus watching me online. Or I do things on I call them on the homestead. So I just had a cheese making on the homestead class here over the weekend. But my challenge right now is getting out to people who are moving here or who have moved here and maybe don't know how to do that. I don't know that there's a ton of competition out there. I do know other people. I think my biggest competition are the people who are on YouTube, who are on Instagram, who are on Facebook already, who are doing these things, quote unquote, for free. Even though technically, like with the YouTube subscriber, you get paid to do that after a certain point, how that all works. So I think that's my biggest competition. So I'm going to stop there.
Okay, who's next?
My business that I'd like to start is remote bookkeeping. Perhaps maybe remoting into your computer to gather my information that I need to do your bookkeeping that way. I'd like to learn how to do QuickBooks online. Right now I'm doing QuickBooks Desktop, but online will put you directly in with your customers' banks and such. My slogan so far is, I'm the answer to your paperwork nightmare. Services I can offer are accounts payable, receivable, estimates, invoicing, record keeping, filing, bank reconciliations, insurance requirements, safety requirements, quarterly federal and state filing and estimated income tax, profit and loss statements, balance sheets, payroll, tax and payroll taxes, state and federal, anything that you can do on QuickBooks. But this is where I need to hone in and specialize my service. My target audience would be small businesses. Small businesses always need help in this area. They're the hands-on laborers and, you know, not always good with paperwork. I'm someone they can trust with a good track record and references. I'm very organized, determined, and I do what I say I'm going to do. I'm not an accountant. I can set up your company, maintain the bookkeeping throughout the year, and provide financial statements for your accountant and tax preparer. I cannot analyze data and make recommendations. So that's where I'm at this point.
Sounds good. We all need your services yesterday.
I hope so.
Anyone else that wants to share?
Hi, I am Betsy Bush, and I run Spongettis Garden, which is a small flower farm in upstate New York, and I've been doing some education over the last. Okay, so one of the things that we have found is when all of the greenhouses all over the area open up in the spring, they have lots and lots of bedding plants, but they don't carry cut flower varieties, which need to be about 2 feet tall and have a vase life of 7 to 10 days. So what happens is there's really no place for people who are doing cut flowers to get actual transplants that can go into the ground right now. Plugs are available in large amounts, and then most people end up starting their own seeds, either in their own greenhouse or in a grow room in their house. There's a huge need right now. It's just flower farming is exploding right now. Lots of small flower farms, and there's just a need for someone to be able to get those transplants. So what I'm looking at is basically starting a transplant greenhouse, a wholesale transplant greenhouse, somewhere in this area that's going to serve a much larger region of flower farmers who are interested. As far as the trends and the service consistent with the trends is, it's Erin Benzakin is doing who is Floret Flower, is doing a TV show now. It's just every single year exponentially getting more exciting. And we've been working specifically in Delaware County with a group of farmers for the last year, and we're hoping to expand that to other counties. The target customer are women with a small growing space who need these transplants to keep their businesses going. They need that basis to start with. Necessary resources, that's the hard one. There's greenhouses available. There's greenhouses we can move. I have land, but I don't have it in the right place. Water issues, those sort of things that are kind of working out of. The other kind of thing with that issue of necessary resources is I don't want to be the one running this. I want to keep being a flower farmer. So finding some people to work with that we could build this up and work from. Again, accessing people who'd be finding our customers is just piggybacking off these different circles of flower farmers that we have going right now. And honestly, no one is doing this. There's a few, there are a few greenhouses in the area that are doing it with tender annuals, but we have 7 successions that we work from. So there's a whole bunch of hardy annuals. We are looking to start planting in May and have transplants in May, the typical Memorial Day weekend. And then we have several successions right up until August 1st. So it's a different mindset of how you would be running a greenhouse.
Hi, my name's Poppy, if you didn't get it before. We have a farm here, and the branch of farm that I'm mostly working on is the chickens. And you know, my target is specialty eggs and specialty meat birds, and like the black copper Marane, the really dark chocolate egg, is what's kind of like a big craze right now and highly sought after. So you know, I'm just trying to figure just how to expand our business, this part of the business. Now, you know, we had started right here at our house, right? You know, we have the farm here, and we started building chicken coops around the house. But you know, they were one thing when they were this size. Now there's 111 of them, and they're getting big, and they're pooping, and the house is turning into a chicken pen. You know, we're like literally gonna be swamped in chicken shit. So right now, I'm like really looking for land where we can move this part of the operation to an area where they can just flourish. And you know, we need we you know, we're growing on a mountainside, so it's pure rock. But we do have a wonderful spring that runs year round, so everything's watered. But we're trying to amend the soil now to get it really healthy and really powerful. And what our needs are is greenhouse material, because with this, the way that this weather is, due to whatever is going on, the weather is so off. Springs are summer, summers are springs. You know what's happening. So greenhouse is really a must for us here right now. We have 2 up, and we're going to be putting up more as we can, you know, find some funding to get a real state-of-the-art greenhouse would be nice. So that's, you know, two of my issues right now is I got to move these chickens, because only half of them are running around pooping right now. The other 70 are, you know, kind of small, and they're getting ready to come out to where they're going to need to free range. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this branch of the farm. Our farm is Sunny Heart Farms. I'm with Antoinette, who's sitting there on her computer too.
So, okay, I actually didn't write down all my homework, but I'm going to go ahead after Poppy, since we're partners, we're working on Sunny Heart Farm. So I am a healer. I'm an energy healer. I'm a shamanic practitioner. I work with crystals. I was working in the city. Most of my clients were in New York City. And then, but basically the last 2 years, we started to move up here because we didn't want to live in the city anymore. And then slowly, 3 years ago, we started farming. And now we're the 3rd year. This is the 3rd year where we farmed, and with my children we're here too. And we actually were selling at Walton Market for the experience, to meet the community. And this was amazing that I met Kristen, I met Marianne, and this is why we're here. So we have the whole umbrella is Sunny Heart Farm. We're here, but the base, the resource we have is, my resource is I'm a healer. I'm also a herbalist, but mostly working with energy work and shamanic work and crystal healing, which all sounds very woo, you know, but this is you know, just how we need to like clean our physical bodies. We go to see the maybe doctor to do our physical health. I work with emotional health, mental health, spiritual health, because they're all connected. And I think that this is a you know, wellness, like you were saying, Marianne, it's something that people need. I think it's really, really needed. But I just don't know how to promote that here, you know, in this side. In New York City, it's very, very popular. Maybe still in the more subversive alternative areas, but energy healing now, like for example, you know, acupuncture and all that kind of stuff is very, you know, and massage. But so I'm like the next, I kind of consider myself almost even, it's like a therapy, but I'm not a therapist. I don't have that kind of a license. And besides that, Poppy, who was just talking, he's an herbalist. So, you know, he has really done his medicine work in the forest, learning from the plants alone. So he does a lot of foraging, and actually I do too. So we met together from that interest. So we forage medicine and we make medicine and tinctures. And so that's also something we're working on. So, you know, it's the umbrella is Sunny Heart Farm, and then the resources is my knowledge, Poppy's knowledge. And then we started with chickens. And we have our son who's really, he wants to be a farmer. So that starts the farming part of it. He was at the Walton Market with my daughter, who was making a lot of value added products. And she's very much also into the herbalist things that me and Poppy are doing, but we're not very good advertisers. And so she started really learning about that too, and making medicine and also doing things to heal her, certain things that she has with herbal stuff. So I don't think my daughter is on right now yet, but so it's like, how can we promote and market Sunny Heart Farm? Yes, we want a greenhouse too. Poppy's got to sort out the chicken situation, and then I mean, yeah. So I'm sorry, I know this is a bit all over the place, but I'm just being transparent, and I wanted to put this out there, and I would love to hear critique, and maybe anyone who has more experience, you know.
Great.
I'm a city girl, you know. Actually, I was born and raised in Japan. I lived in France. I lived all over the world, but in America, only in New York City. So this is now my 30 in living in the countryside, and I love it. And it's so beautiful because in my energy work, we are really about earth-based.
Antoinette, I have to cut you off because we went over our 3 minutes. So thank you very
much.
So is there anyone else?
I wanted to start kind of what we've put in our business plan just for the introduction. My name is Holly Pullis. I have a couple different businesses, several different irons in the fire. But today we're looking, or for this class, we're looking to expand and do some value-added products off our dairy farm, which is Rodale Farm in the town of Springfield, north of Cooperstown. So our goal is to create a product or products that will help diversify our farm while offering some market stability for our milk. This diversification and possible separate business could offer several options as we look to welcome the next generation or transition the way we do business over the next 10 to 20 years. Our primary idea is to produce ice cream and sell it at the farm. Additional on-farm activities and or products will help draw families to the farm as a destination for food, entertainment, and education. These additional ideas include sunflowers, corn maze, and farm markets. There are no operating dairy farms within at least 30 miles that we're aware of that offer the opportunity to actually come directly to the farm to buy what we're producing. So if I look at specifically the 7 questions, problems or products or services, and as far as the need, we've kind of identified what we call an ice cream desert. We are 2 miles off of Route 20. And you have to go at least 20 miles either side of us before you can get ice cream right on Route 20, other than a couple Stewart's shops. Our target customers, we feel at this time, would be local families, as well as travelers, being just 10 miles, 12 miles from Cooperstown. There is a lot of those travelers and vacationers, as well as being less than an hour from the Southern Adirondacks. We have a lot of travelers coming through the area. So do we have, or can I obtain the necessary resources? We have the land and the space. However, we would be needing to add a new building equipment, as well as electric and water services for that new facility. How would we get our product or service to the market? At this point, we're looking to market direct to the consumer here on the farm property. But I also do farmers markets and other local stores and co-ops with other products. So we have those channels as well. We do, as far as ice cream competition, there is a small former goat dairy that opened an ice cream stand just a few miles from us this summer. However, they're doing strictly soft serve out of a commercial brand, national brand. We're looking to either make our own, so we have our own private brand, or using a niche, a local brand, and not a national brand of ice cream, and doing hard ice cream. Is it consistent with trends? I believe so, as far as the local food movement in a niche and unique market. But we need to work on all of the numbers and the regulations and everything that go along with it. As far as ice cream and being unique and different, we are looking, one of our debates is, do we do a scoop shop or do we do prepackaged, so pints, half pints, things like that. Those are some of the questions. So.
Okay, Marianne, we're up with our time, both in our 21-minute time. We went a little bit over, but that's okay. We got some great conversation from folks, and so I'll let you move to our next part of our program.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing. I think we have some really exciting ideas going on, and we'll continue to share as we go along.